Right, welcome back. We're looking at the worst rated hotel in Lanzarote, the Beatrice Playa and Spa Hotel review. I've actually looked at this hotel before. It's in Costa Teguise, north of the airport. Nice little resort. It does appear in the cheaper sections of the holiday search, but somebody reckons it's the worst one, so I don't know if they just hated it or whether it really is bad. Let's compare it.
Oh boy. Sit back tight, cause this is going to be a wild ride.
Wild ride.
Beatrice Hotel and Spa is absolutely terrible. And if you've been following my channel for some time now, you know that I never start my videos like that. I genuinely do my reviews objectively and unbiased. And so in this video, I'm going to review perhaps Lanzarote's worst hotel. Upon arrival, I had high expectations as I was really excited to stay here after staying in cheap apartments for 10 days. So understandably, I was hyped to finally visit a new all-inclusive hotel. When I arrived, I was thrilled to see the amazing architecture of the hotel. Little did I know back then it would be one of the only positives of this hotel.
It looks like it could be nice inside, with all the plants and stuff. I've seen plenty of hotels that look like that. There's a big one in Las Americas that's just reopened, the Mediterranean, that looks a little bit like that sort of layout. Like an internal staircase area where you get to your rooms, so everybody's either facing the pool or facing out, but full of trees and palm trees and bushes and stuff.
So, I arrived at the reception. I had to push the heavy doors because they weren't automatic. The front door isn't automatic and you have to push it.
So the circular door is powered off.
Accessible people. There's this door, but this one is permanently locked. I waited for about an hour until someone at the reception finally decided to serve their new guests.
Wow, an hour.
Even though it was 9 AM, the staff seemed tired and unmotivated.
That's poor.
They didn't give me a room yet, as expected, so they allowed me to put my stuff in the luggage room.
So you were there
I went
early.
to explore the beauty of this hotel. So far so good, right?
The other way they're not going to give you a room is if you're there before maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. They have to obviously let other guests check out, clean the room to allow you to be checked in, so I'm guessing you've arrived early. So we'll try and be objective as to what the reasons are, but there's no excuse for waiting an hour for somebody to come to reception. That's not good enough.
Alright, so around noon I was starting to get hungry.
Around noon you were starting to get hungry, so, so you've arrived in the morning, so the room isn't ready yet.
So I decided to call for a lunch at the restaurant, which is downstairs at -1 level, by the way. To my surprise, the food wasn't as good as it looked. I mean, it didn't look overwhelming anyways, but the taste was way worse. There weren't a lot of options and combinations to choose from. And this may seem weird, but for some reason the restaurant was split in a symmetrical way, so that starting at the center, going both left and right, you'd see the same exact food, which was a bit awkward.
So they've just separated the food so that people aren't queuing in one place. That doesn't seem like a bad idea.
The food would also repeat itself almost every day. Dinner wasn't...
That's typical all-inclusive, repeated most of the time.
Anything special either. Even though the waitresses and staff tried to behave professionally.
Why is it, you said it was before midday, why is it dark outside? Not quite sure that that video was taken at the lunchtime service.
They were most of the time rude and unfriendly. At least the chefs weren't as rude as the waitresses, although their food was not great at all. To comment on the food itself, for instance, the meat I had was dry. I had to drink water after every single bite as my throat was dying. Salads were stinky and poorly cleaned. Yes, this is a worm.
To be fair, it's the Beatrice Playa is probably the cheapest hotel in Lanzarote that you can get. So you've got to measure your expectations a little bit. Yes, you get free worms there, clearly. Always wash the lettuce. But yeah, you've got to expect you're not going to get a good place if it's the cheapest place on the island, no matter how big it is.
The soups could have been good if they weren't diluted with so much water.
That's it, looks very watery. Chicken soup, is it? Hard to tell.
And as mentioned before, there wasn't a lot to choose from despite the quantity of that food. The quality was bad and I had to have this for my dinner. Oh, I finally got my ocean view room, by the way, so let's check it out, shall we?
Right, yeah, you can't. That's not a sea view room. Yep. Grant that one.
Where is the ocean? This is an ocean view. This is a side ocean view, and that's different. So they kinda scammed me, as the website I booked.
You can see the ocean. A lot of rooms will say partial sea view, partial ocean view, whatever, but can you see the ocean from your room? The answer is yes.
Did on specifically stated that it would be an ocean view. By the way, I paid extra
You can see the ocean.
money for this ocean view room.
You've got an ocean view room. You can see the ocean.
Regardless of that, the room I got seemed freshly renovated. I liked it, the beds were comfy, and the bathroom was clean. Also, one of the only positives of my experience here.
Decent enough room.
The
No
cleaning ladies
complaints.
were quite literally the only friendly staff in this hotel, and seemingly the only personnel doing their job properly. But I
Somebody sounds a little bit bitter about something, and I don't quite think we've come to it yet. The reason why.
couldn't help but mention the deteriorating balcony. And what the hell is this seating? Seriously? Cheap plastic table and chairs? One of
You pay for the cheapest hotel in Lanzarote, just to remind you.
them was clearly damaged. Oh, and by the way, there were only 3 chairs, but we were 4 in the room, so we had to ask for 1 more chair. Guess when they brought the 4th one, after 4 freaking hours, I don't know if they went to buy it somewhere or something, but like... By the way, my balcony wasn't the only thing deteriorating. The walls of the hotel itself were all moldy and disgusting, with cracks almost everywhere I looked.
It's not easy to get up to that netting. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of trees down below. So even if you were to get a cherry picker to get up to the top there, that is not easy to get to. But I guess if you're looking for dirt, you'll find it if you look hard enough.
At least the pool wasn't so disgusting, right? They seem to clean it every morning, the entire pool area and the bar area as well.
Pool looks decent.
But the anomalies here can go unnoticed too. Speaking of the pool, you might be asking if you can borrow towels and reserve sunbath.
Just to go back a little bit.
Bar area as well. But the
You get all
anomalies
these
here can go
areas.
unnoticed too.
That bit. Yeah, waterline inside the pool. Lanzarote is a year-round destination, so we've stayed in places in the Canaries before where you don't, in order, if they're getting guests in 365 days a year, which is what most of them do, in order to fix that stuff in the pool, they're going to have to drain the pool. So you've got to drain the pool, then you've got to get the team in. You might as well completely renovate the pool area and then fill it up again, which means at some point some guests are going to come along, unless you shut the hotel, and they're going to be sat there with no pool to go at. There's quite a large cost involved in repairing a pool like that, so hotels will wait for a certain period where you can't go on with it any longer. Yeah, it might have been a bad job in the past, and it's now looking a bit worn and dated, and maybe it's due. But it's not just fixable overnight. You can't fix tiling while there's water in the pool.
Speaking of the pool, you might be asking if you can borrow towels and reserve sunbeds. Well, yes, but actually no. You see, the rules here are a bit confusing, and the staff failed to explain them properly. So the towel service can be arranged at the reception by leaving a bank card as a guarantee. So basically, when you want to borrow towels for the pool,
We actually take towels with us when we go, and then you bring your own towels out, and then you dry your towels, you wash your towels, and then problem solved. Bring a couple of towels, buy towels. We did have towels on our last holiday that were free to give out, and we could give them back every day, which was fine. But at the end of the day, it's how many people towel themselves off when they get out of a pool on holiday? Not many. It's just something to lie on.
you have to give your card number at the reception for a guarantee. So basically, other hotels have deposit
I'm sorry about the volume level of this video. I've got my audio level set fully up, so it's recording it as full as it can. So I can't actually get it in louder, so you'll have to turn it up a little bit on your TV or your computer or your laptop or whatever.
let's say €10 for one towel. That was in the previous hotel that I've been to, and you can get towels in the in this kind of blue-white striped shed near the pool, which can be seen on the screen now. It is not allowed to be.
It's shut. It is Christmas, when they build up to Christmas, going by all the Santas and the Christmas trees. So maybe they don't have year-round pool attendants handing out towels. Maybe it's a bit quieter, so they don't offer that service.
Reserve sunbaths with the towels, or just reserve them in general. But yeah, everyone just ignores that and reserves them anyway, and they say that the towels will be removed afterwards. But
It's really not worth worrying about towels on holiday.
yeah, everybody does that, and nobody removed any towels, or at least what I know of. Also, you might be asking, how do I change my dirty or wet towels? So yeah, it's not mentioned anywhere.
You dry them. If you've got wet towels, you dry them. You've got a little rack on your balcony, you dry them in the sun. That's how most people do it.
So let's ask at the towel stand near the pool. What I would expect is that you can change them without any problems. I mean, assuming that other hotels have deposits, so they expect the people to return them, or else they are allowed to keep their money. I mean, the hotel is allowed to keep the guests' money when they lose their towels or something. But there's no deposit. There's only the bank card, which the number of the card you're supposed to give at the reception when you want to borrow the towels.
It's really not worth the stress. You're on holiday. Don't worry about the towels.
Hola. If I want to change the towels, how do I
Change.
Yeah, change.
Change, tienes que in the reception €2.
Oh, really?
In the reception.
So you've got to pay for your towels to be cleaned. Yeah,
In the reception.
that's fair enough.
Reception.
Okay.
Okay?
So I go to the reception,
Yeah.
pay €2 and I get the ticket. I come with the ticket and the dirty towel and you give me a new towel.
And they give you a new towel because you've got to pay for
No,
it to
no,
be cleaned.
Para change tienes que traerme ticket. Here.
Yeah.
Ticket in the reception.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, no other comment on that. You saw and heard by yourself. Guess what? Another surprise awaits you at the bar. The soda machines were out of order,
About
the bar
Sunday.
opens at 10 a.m,
To be
and you
fair.
are unable to get water anywhere. And when I asked a bartender, where do I get water, he sent me to a nearby supermarket. Oh, did I mention that I paid for all-inclusive?
But it opens at 10. They have to clean it at some point and restock.
Oh wait, you can get water bottles, but only from this specific bar which opens only at night. The drinks were low quality anyway, and most of them tasted like water with sugar. I can't judge the alcoholic beverages as I didn't have any, but from what I heard, they aren't that great either. You want coffee? Pay €2 for a coffee which is tapped from a basic coffee machine seen anywhere in any malls, by the way. You want a towel? Give us your credit card number. You want a snack? Here is a disgusting piece of leftover bread from breakfast with I don't even want to know how many days old ham. Like, what? This is not all inclusive.
It's cheap all inclusive, the cheapest in Lanzarote. What do you expect?
Oh guys, don't worry, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a bar right here with the sign saying travel plan, which actually served decent drinks. And the bartender here, would you believe it, she was actually quite nice and friendly. It was open only on Tuesday and it never opened again, so I went to ask at the reception. Like, what does the travel pass mean? You have that on the other bar, the travel pass sign. Like, what does that mean?
It's closed.
What does the travel pass mean? Like, what is that?
The travel plan.
Yeah, I mean the travel plan. Yeah.
In front, in the swimming pool area is there. It's the kiosk, but it's closed. It's the same drinks.
Now that's actually a lie because the drinks were way better than in the normal bar.
It's closed. It's not open for nobody. Only is the pool bar for all the guests.
Oh, well, that's interesting because your colleague said that the other bar that is open only sometimes. I don't know when. It's only
In summer, normally.
It's only
In
for,
summer, yeah, because it's
some
too
people
quiet.
who
You can't
paid
staff it.
extra money for
The tour operator travel plan.
Okay, so apparently it's only open in summer, but it was open right now in December, and it's only for the group operator people travel plan. But how is it possible that I got a free drink from there?
Because you've hit the point when they've decided to close it. They've reached a certain amount of people in the hotel and they've decided to close it to save the staff's wages.
Like, can anybody explain that, please? Because I'm confused. And I spent 8 more minutes of my life with that lady at the reception talking about the travel plan and how that bar was open and that it shouldn't have, apparently. But I'm not gonna show all that because I want to spare you those 8 minutes of your life. You're welcome.
You want to save me another 8 minutes? You've already cost me 10 minutes of my life, but carry on. I hope you've got some good gripes.
Welcome. I sadly don't have a video nor any photo of the bar being opened. We stayed here in December and the bar was open, regardless of the receptionist saying it's only open in summer. This bar isn't the only place having random opening hours. Oriental Bamboo, which I thought was closed forever because nobody told me and it really looked like it, Italian La Piazza, and the Burger Beatrice had very random opening hours too. See by yourself here. Incidentally, as per usual, nobody is telling the all-inclusive guests that these restaurants are all included in their pension. So people are just finding out that this restaurant is all-inclusive. So you can basically eat here, like in the price included. And they didn't tell us anything about it at the reception when we arrived. So everybody is thinking like this is, like they have to pay extra for burgers here, but that's not true because apparently you can. 1 chicken burger and 1 french fries.
Are you complaining that it's free? That it's included in the all-inclusive?
Even though Burger Beatrice served bucks as well, the food was actually quite decent, I gotta.
Cockroaches live in the Canary Islands. Cockroaches can walk through doors. It's not necessarily a sign of somewhere being dirty. It's a bit like a fly that we get here in the UK.
Say. Or maybe I was just starving after the terrible food I was offered throughout my stay, and this burger was the only thing edible here. After a few days of my stay, I decided to explore the premises a bit more. I found out that there is a gaming room here, which includes billiards and other fun games. To my surprise, half of the machines weren't functioning properly and some were out of order, and we couldn't even play the billiard properly because one of the sticks was broken.
That's called a pool table. It's not a billiard table. Nobody's played billiard since the 1970s.
Didn't have a replacement stick.
You can share. Oh yeah, there's a broken cue. You can share one cue. Just pass it to each other.
When I asked at the reception, I mean, you could have just gone to the supermarket and buy one at this point. Couldn't you, like you did with the plastic chair? Anyways, in this alley downstairs on -1 level, you can find lots of shops as well, which is convenient, but the products are mostly overpriced and low quality. One thing I do actually admire about this hotel is the architecture itself. The hotel is huge, open space, with lots of plants and greenery, statues and props. Despite the hotel being so huge and open space, which is admirable, it is also a big disadvantage. It doesn't matter if you get a room near the evening entertainment area or on the other side of the hotel, you're still going to hear the loud music echoing throughout the whole premises of the hotel.
Because sometimes people go on holiday to enjoy themselves.
Nope, you can't even sleep properly if you wish to. I recommend bringing or buying some earplugs.
Oh,
Speaking of the entertainment, well, even the entertainment wasn't that great.
never is good in all-inclusive resorts, unless you're paying through the nose.
The animation team didn't seem motivated enough to entertain people, the daily activities were repetitive and boring,
That's the same for pretty much every hotel you go to as well.
but it was kinda doable. So there was this one animation guy who looked like he came straight out of a jungle.
It looks like he's out of a jungle, like, because he's got a beard.
Yeah, no further comments on that. The evening entertainment offered different variety of options every day, at least that wasn't repetitive. There was a mini disco every night, followed by a performance by some singer usually, or some other form of evening show. Beatrice Hotel also offers a spa, which is unreasonably overpriced. Oh, and I wanted to have a look inside of the wellness area, just to make some videos, but they kicked me out in a very rude way, so yeah. Besides that, they kicked me out of multiple different locations throughout the hotel. Maybe they were too afraid I'd publicly post it somewhere and expose them.
Maybe you're just one of those customers that complains about everything and they don't want to allow you to walk around with your camera because they think all you're going to do is complain. Don't know where I got that idea from.
Well, that's actually what I'm doing right now anyways. In addition to the wellness and spa, they also have a gym. I forgot to mention that I picked this hotel solely based on the location. If it weren't because of the airport and the gorgeous promenade, I wouldn't have booked this hotel. Yes, I'm a plane spotter and I like planes. And so this makes it probably the last positive side of the hotel.
So you're probably on the flight path. The plane's taking off, leaving Lanzarote. Good choice.
The location. Situated right beside the runway, for some people it might be annoying, understandably. Planes are loud, and some people might find it irritating.
Maybe some people would like to sleep and all they can hear is planes, so maybe they should bring some earplugs. What do you reckon?
But for me as a plane spotter, the location was perfect.
So noise is fine when it suits you, okay?
Not only aviation enthusiasts, but also others love seeing planes take off and land. Especially the landings here are very spectacular, as you can stand below the approach path of the airplane just seconds before it touches down. There is also a beach, Playa Matagorda, spanning from near the Beatrice Hotel all the way up to the...
Oh. The Hotel Beatrice Playa. Ah. My mistake. I thought the Beatrice Playa was in Costa Teguise, but looking at that map, it's right on. That's the approach of the runway for the planes coming into land. I've walked around there myself, and I've actually stayed at the Sentido Acora Lanzarote Suites, not far away. So my apologies. Know where you are now.
the northern side of the runway. Sadly, other than that, the location actually deserves a negative point, since the heart of Puerto del Carmen is about 4 kilometers away from the hotel, meaning you have to walk for at least 45 minutes to experience the true Puerto del Carmen.
The problem is not that it's 4 kilometres away. The problem is that you booked a hotel that's 4 kilometres away. That'll take you about half an hour to walk up to Porto del Carmen, but it's not the hotel's fault that it happens to be 4 kilometres away from the main resort.
Meaning the bars, restaurants, shops and nightlife. Oh boy, to wrap this entire experience up, I came up with a conclusion and potential ideas how I'd make this hotel better. My overall experience was terrible. There were multiple factors contributing to this, but the most noticeable were rude personnel, unprofessional and chaotic management, all-inclusive wasn't really all-inclusive, bad service, food, drinks, etc., poor entertainment. The only positives really were the location, well, kind of, and the architecture. The hotel holds a lot of potential. It would be such an amazing hotel if the management of the hotel cared more about their guests rather than income. It seems like they are cutting costs everywhere where it's possible. The poor snacks and water unavailability are just one of the many things that could be easily improved.
They could improve them, but they charge you more to stay there, so you'd probably not go.
I get that they might be cutting costs and saving the money for a future renovation, perhaps, because it really needs some, especially the molded and cracked walls, but you don't need to treat your guests like this. It can be done in another way, more friendlier way. Why do you need our credit card number when borrowing towels? That's another thing.
In case you steal the towels, they can charge your card. I'm sure it's happened before, which is why they've introduced that
triggers me. Moreover, some basic needs and necessities like a simple water bottle should be available for guests. It is not right for all-inclusive guests to buy water at the supermarket if they don't want to wait until the snack bar opens or die out of thirst.
You probably won't die. Probably not.
It works in other hotels. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't here. The same goes for snacks. A piece of old bread is definitely not worth the all-inclusive price we paid for. In addition to that, dear Beatrice, don't make stupid, unnecessary rules and fix your stupid opening hours of the bars and buffets. Treat your guests better, don't lie to them, don't confuse them, and you should clean your own mess first because your employees seem confused as well. Lastly, I hope this video was helpful for you, dear viewers, and I really hope Beatrice manages to improve in the future. Otherwise, I can't really recommend staying in this hotel.
It actually looks like a half-decent place. It doesn't look that bad. Can't comment on the food, the entertainment, but the sunshine. You're right on the beach. Yes, you're next to the airport. Probably one of the reasons why it's so cheap. But I've seen a lot worse places.
For now, absolutely not. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested, feel free to check out my other hotel review videos I've made, also from Lanzarote and Canary Islands. If you like this video, subscribe and leave a like for more content.
I might watch
Thank
that.
you so much.
I'm just wondering if you're going to slate the other places as well. Anyway, thank you for that. FJ Avi Travel. I shall watch some more of them. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. Sorry, but that guy was a moaner.